Hey, everybody, hype.com. We are so excited to have Colin Powell back with us. We've got more questions and he's got answers. So, Colin, welcome.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me today. Hello, Jeff. Good to see you.
Thank you again. So, I've got a question, and it's kind of one that, you know, my church group, my family group, my friend group, we're all kind of asking who do we believe? Um, who's communicating with whom? And really, where's the information going? And I think you said it is you got to pick your team. So, tell me tell me your thoughts on picking your team is the one I'm going to go with, but let's start there. What's your thoughts?
I love that question because I don't like the idea of picking teams on this. As a matter of fact, I think that we're all on the same team. However, we are completely segregated in this. It almost feels like a tennis match, right? There's six people playing, all playing different games. However, at the end of the game, then there's a doubles match where two people come together and then they play another group collectively, and then at the end, how everybody performed individually is how that the team won or not. So I'm thinking of this more as a tennis match kind of right now than anything, because that's really where we are. Everybody fighting their own battles, playing against some folks that they don't know. New competitors are coming in, and some people are having to be more strategic. Like, right, if there's certain groups that you're going to lose to, then maybe you submit somebody else to play that one, and you play this over here. So what people, I think, kind of to answer your question, and I know that was kind of a strange analogy, but I was a tennis coach for several years, but that's really where we are. It's very siloed. So you start looking around about, and I think the kind of the four that you want to discuss, the patients and the public, the physicians, the government, and then the healthcare community. Here's the thing, guys. Those four uh, those four are going to be needed for the vaccination development and distribution ongoing, and we all need to be on the same team. Now, we all don't need to be fighting and having the same fight, but we need to be aware of who's playing who and the outcomes of that, and support each other in that. Not to say we're fighting against anyone else. Let's just say the opponent here in this case is COVID, but we all are going to have different roles in this, right? We need patients who are going to say, yes, I'm willing to do this. Yes, I'm willing to give blood. Yes, I'm willing to go, try this vaccination. Or no, I'm not going to do that until there's more evidence to come out to say that. Because honestly, working vaccinations for 7 years, I, I, I would probably say that, and I'm not saying that, not that I don't trust that these vaccinations are correct. I am actually just looking for them to prove to me that I personally, based off my genealogy, should test it. So for them, that's their game, right? AstraZeneca just had, they're about to release theirs. We've got Moderna coming out, and within that, we're still finding certain things that, it's like they're trying really hard. You want them to win, but you're still seeing that, they're maybe missing that second serve, right, or volleying it into the fence. Where there's a recent, clinical trial that came out where nearly 40,000 people of the trial were given the wrong dosage of the vaccine, which is, considering 40,000, 250,000 mortalities, that's pretty significant and could be really, it could have impacted a lot of people very negatively. However, they have found that by reintroducing it and doing it that way, that it actually may be more helpful, and so it's a weird win, and I'm not sure we even really want to call it a win, but that is where we are right now. And we actually need people to trust these these pharmaceutical groups and the government, even though there are going to be mistakes. So you guys need to understand that. But this is a great example of where a mistake became a positive, moving forward. So the the biopharma and those groups, they have a very big role. Unfortunately, again, they have some of the highest disapproval trust rates from Americans, as well as the government. So the public's very wary right now to do any of this. So, guys, just for the public right now, I just want you to understand, we are going to keep you up to date and tell you what's not safe and what should, kind of what's going on in different opportunities. However, I encourage you to continue doing your own research and looking, because there's a lot of things that you aren't seeing that's out there, because the communication channels are different. You, as the public, you're looking at YouTube, you're looking at Facebook, you're looking at Jeff down the street, whoever's telling you stuff. That's where you're getting your information from. Now, in my world, in the healthcare side, you get on, say, like LinkedIn or something, and you see just nothing but a bunch of just press releases of healthcare companies and tech companies and manufacturers and stuff communicating to one another, telling each other in press releases how great they are, but yet the public's not getting any of that information, nor would they understand it. So the community, so today even, one of the pieces that came out, Biden and Harris were Times People of the Year. That's terrific. Well, I saw an article almost immediately afterwards that Barstool Sports commentator put Cardi B as Person of the Year. So as you can tell right there's a huge divide in what the public's seeing and what the government's seeing. And if you ask my opinion on who should be the Person of the Year, I would name off 3 or 4 people that didn't even make the list on the healthcare side, because that community right there, that's actually doing a lot of the scientific and research and these advancements. One, a lot of times they're not allowed to communicate a lot of this stuff. Two, there frankly isn't an outlet for them either. So the government doesn't have an outlet to share this news to the public. Neither do the healthcare companies. Neither do the manufacturers. And the public is sitting there saying, "We have questions. We have questions," but they don't know how to communicate to you, and it's not their fault. As a matter of fact, it's by design. That's how the whole healthcare system has been created. It's supposed to be that way, trying to make it easier for the public and everyone. You don't need to know all the stuff behind the scenes, but that did create this divide. So we need everybody to say, instead of picking teams, we're all wearing the same color. We're all playing on the same match. At the end of the day, we all are going to square up with someone. We may win, we may lose, but it's as a group that determines the ultimate outcome.
So, are your thought process is we're all on the same team?
Absolutely. And I would even say, even go as far to say that, as a world, we really need to be relying on each other. But for right now, I think we really need to focus on protecting the United States. So I want to make we're the U.S. team of uh, COVID, like, well, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't matter. But we, as the American people, we all have to play. Even if your job is to sit on the bench and go to practice every day to help someone else get better, but you're still sitting there on the bench, you have a very important role. And that's what I want everyone to understand. We all have a role. Everybody has a different role, and if you aren't communicating and you're not practicing it and you're not getting coached and told what your role is and what's your needed, not only are you going to be sitting on the bench, but you're going to lose every time. So I think we really need to be listening to some of our experts, and that's who we're going to be bringing on as our interviewers for this show, which I'm really excited about. They're the ones who need to be heard, who frankly just don't have a voice, and uh, these are the people I want to introduce you to. It's the people that I would introduce my own grandmother to. I say, listen, you got to talk to this person, listen to them, listen to what they have to say, just to the general public. That's what we're going to bring to you. And I think you guys are going to be really excited, honestly.
That's amazing information. So, give us. Everybody knows we got extended content at hype.com, but the list of kind of home runs, the CDC, the government entities, the HHS, tell us who do you see as, or have we already invited that you can see as potential interviewees, I guess, here on the network in the upcoming months?
Well, I personally would love to bring in, as we just changed, the government and some of that change, we really just got a whole new task force and so everything we did leading up to the first few months of COVID, let's just say flip flopped. So we're going to have a whole new team kind of making a lot of these decisions that I would love to be bringing on. We're also going to be bringing on some of these major manufacturers, the ones who are creating these tests that you guys are taking. blindly right now, you need to see the faces behind them, because there are a lot of really good people out there. And I think that if you realize just how much they cared and how much they're doing, that you guys would say, you know what, I trust that group. There's a person behind this, that is a human being. They do have a mother, they do have a child, and we just need to dehumanize. Right now, we're so dehumanized on this, but also so dangerously uneducated, that I need you guys to see that, who these folks are. As of Jeff, we were speaking earlier. What we have, like, there's 8 or 9 different groups that we were saying, oh my gosh, look at the stuff that they've created, and how are we going to fit this in? To creating I mean, I'm talking about, you know everything is being manufactured differently because of COVID. And there's also a lot of new manufacturing rules from coming from stuff coming from overseas. So we have a time right now to be super creative, to switch out a lot of things and do it correctly, while also saving a lot of money and bringing money to our own economy, which I'm really, really excited about. So, I don't know who we need to be bringing on here when at the thing. I think that the time's going to find us, and they're going to find us. And you know what, America, if there's somebody that you want to see on here, let us know.
Absolutely, and I think that's a great segue to the Frontline Workers Charity Fund. You can check that out on the hype.com page, but we want to make sure we're supporting our health line, our front end workers, and all the caregivers that are really, efforts, they're working tirelessly day in, day out, and a lot of them are tired. I know they are, and we appreciate y'all, and we want to just make sure that we thank you now. Again, thanks again, Colin, for being
Yes.
with us, and we will check you out on the next one. Have a good day.
Thank you, guys.